Hey friends, I'm Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Whoop Wednesday. There is another Hummingbird F4 V3 has arrived, courtesy of my father. My dad bought this for the giveaway, the Tiny Whoop tier giveaway, beginning of next month. So we are gonna get this thing prepped. We're gonna make the change that I'm gonna show you how I would prep a Hummingbird F4 V3 if I were to buy one and not go completely ballistic modding it. So we're going to backdate Bluejay. I'm going to show you the screws that I think should be tightened up. I'm going to put a longer screw in the rear. We're going to drill out the propellers so that they go onto and off of the motors with no problem. And maybe I'll figure out a fifth thing. We'll go into we'll do some stuff in Betaflight. Yeah, fifth thing we'll do is we'll hop into Betaflight and we'll turn up PID some and yeah. Ooh, you know what'll be nice? We will fly it. We'll do all those things other than Betaflight, and then we'll jump into Betaflight and we'll turn up PID some, and maybe we'll turn the filtering down a little bit. So yeah, that'll be cool. I dig that idea, and we'll see if turning up PID sum helps it at all. I doubt that it will, though, because the tune that these things come with is really dialed in. And they really don't prop wash hardly at all. Teddy, where are you? Are you being bad? Hold on. The dog is down here. Teddy? Small dog. Okay, good boy. Stay upstairs. He is officially not afraid of the basement anymore, which is a problem because there's a lot of stuff down here that I don't want him to tear up. Shirt of the day is encouraging you to turn less. That's how you go faster at the racetrack. You turn less, literally. You actually just turn the steering wheel less. When I started instructing, I had to like learn how to break all these like kind of complex things down. And one of the epiphanies was literally just like turn the steering wheel less. Seems kind of obvious, but it's really not. In the chat, Hockey Rounds was first. Troy Prelog was next. Marcus. Hey, we're also doing mailbag today. Speaking of Hockey Rounds, yeah, a little mailbag action. Courtesy of Hockey Rounds. He sent some stuff. Very cool of him. Thank you, brother. Troy Prelog, Market Zero, Mick Mucus, FPV Super Trucker, Northern Tier FPV. FPV Geek is in the house. What's up, Ron? How are you, brother? Douglas Otwell, Matt Trombley, McMucus, Riot 9, Curtis Preston, Liam Weitzel, Adam Weston, Pauly Shortcuts, Daniel 1964, Anonymous, Rockcrawler, Riot 9, CMYK is here, Curtis Hayes, Bob Bruce, Hush LOS, Brandon Woodford, YouTube just did the thing, Glenn Burnett, Hockey Rounds again, Riot 9, Pauly Shortcuts, Captain Cannoli is here, Bob Bruce, Brandon's Baked Beans, Captain Insano, Minty FPV. What's up, everybody? J-Spin FPV as well. Thanks for coming. Make yourselves at home. I spit all over this. That's horrifying. The Hummingbird F4 V3 comes in 6 or 8 different colors, and you don't get to choose. They just send you a random color, and I think that's hysterical. The one that cooked was teal green. This one that's going to get given away the first Monday of September. What is that? What's the first Monday of September? Hey, also, there's a pizza in the oven upstairs. In 12 and a half minutes, my alarm's going to go off, and I got to go get the pizza out for the kiddos. So Monday of next week is the 25th. Monday of the following week is October the 2nd. So 2 Mondays from now, one of the 3 Patreon-specific giveaways will be for this. You can enter the $5 a month tier, which is the Tiny Whoop and Toothpick tier, or you can enter the $30 a month tier, which is all 3 of the tiers, to get in on the chance of winning this little guy. With, you know, some of my custom tweaks and improvements, like the longer screw in the rear. Right in the rear. Mick Mucus, if you want to talk to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that for me, it'll light up an orange. You can do that with each other, too. If you type somebody's name and you spell it right, for them, it'll light up an orange and they'll know you're talking to them. Mick Mucus says, yo, CiottiFPV and Gangles. Liam says, hello, gang, and CiottiFPV. Rockcrawler says, howdy. CMYK says, what up? CMYK also dropping the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, brother. Brandon Woodford says, hey, what's up, my dude? Bob Bruce says, nice hair. Thank you, brother. I got it cut yesterday, I guess it was. Pauly Shortcut says, make sure you get the fire on camera tonight. Hopefully it doesn't catch on fire tonight. We're also going to change the gate timing from 5 to 10. Curtis Preston says, did you work at Road Atlanta? I wish. Every bit of info that I've gotten is that Road Atlanta does not allow drones. I also don't really have any ins. But man, that would be a dream. That would be a dream to work at Road Atlanta. Oh, are you talking about instructing? No, I was deep into motorsports in my 20s and into my 30s up in New Jersey. I was the co-chair of the entire autocross program for South Jersey Region SCCA for a couple of years. And then it was a bit much to be the chair of the region. So I stepped down, a couple awesome guys took over, and I moved into, we didn't have this position. I kind of created the position of instructor chief, where I trained up 11 other instructors, and I would instruct a lot myself. And I did that for the next, like, 7 or 8 years. And it was just awesome. Great, great, great fun. Helping people go faster, have more fun safely. I assume that's what you were talking about when you mentioned Road Atlanta. When I moved to the move from New Jersey to Charleston was extremely expensive, and once I got to Charleston, I could not break into the good old boy network that they have there. And I was unemployed for a year and a half, actually, and that ate up all my savings that I'd stacked up to buy a house. And it also, like, kind of bankrupted the motorsports thing, and I ended up having to sell my Mustang. I had a 96 Mustang Cobra, among other things. I had to move on from that, and then I just had to stop doing motorsport things, which was okay. I had almost 10 years into it at that point, and I'd had a ton of fun. The motorsport community in Charleston was nothing like it was up in New Jersey. So yeah, it was kind of time to move on, and not too long after that, I found FPV, so it worked out really well for me. Curtis Preston says SCCA is a stellar group of guys. They are indeed. All in all, a great group of people. Are you SCCA licensed? No, I did most. I never ended up getting a proper SCCA racing license. I never really did wheel to wheel. I did the majority of my instruction was with autocross with South Jersey Region, and then I would get, when they really needed people to help at New Jersey Motorsports Park, Thunder and Lightning, the two racetracks, for HPDEs, which are high performance driving education days. They would reach out to a bunch of us, and I did a couple of those. Didn't like doing those. Did not like being in the passenger seat with someone that I had no idea who they were, what their driving abilities were, going triple digits with concrete barriers nearby. So I did those as infrequently as possible. I absolutely loved instructing in autocrosses because it's just incredibly safe. But yeah, at proper racetracks, it was I didn't love it. But I would do it because they would need help really bad every once in a while. Right9 says, make sure you watch the latest Mighty Car Mod. Someone smashed into a car. We found them. If you haven't, some classic restoration moments. I watched that yesterday. Really, really good. Those guys are the best. Speaking of Mighty Car Mods, I stole that from them. I emailed them to ask permission to use it, but they're a huge channel, so they never got back to me. But yeah, that little thing is from Mighty Car Mods, and it's just perfect. And I don't get copyright strucken for it because it's like 5 seconds long. It's less than 5 seconds long, so yeah. But go subscribe to Mighty Car Mods because that'll help them out, and I stole from them. This is a little box from Hockey Rounds. He had some stuff floating around that he wasn't using that he sent over. People do that from time to time. It's amazing. I love when you guys do that. If you have stuff that you're too lazy to put on Facebook Marketplace, throw it in a box, send it over, and I'll put it into my giveaways, and you can give back to the community in that way, which is really, really cool of you. This is a set of the Dow Prop donuts, the 5145 donuts. Very cool. This is going to go into the giveaways for sure, so that as many of you beautiful people can check them donuts out. The main thing, though, that Hockey Rounds is sending me, we're kind of doing a little bit of a trade here, is a Walksnail V1 VTX. He told me before I send him anything in return, though, to test it, because he doesn't know if it actually works. I mean, it looks brand new. And I don't really have a rig to test it in, so I'm probably just going to send him a bunch of stuff. But yeah, very, very cool. Oh, and there's an he put the USB cable in here, which is amazing because I only have one of the. Oh wait, no, now I have another one of these USB cables because I got that Avatar HD kit. So that's great. So now I have 3 of these USB cables, which is great because I'll definitely lose one, and then the other one will probably explode in some weird way. This is very cool. Crossfire Nano RX. This is going to go into the giveaways as well. Crossfire Nanos are an impossibly great giveaway item because everybody's got some Crossfire stuff floating around. Was there one single bit of wire, T-motor wire in here? No, that was from over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. This is very cool. An extra Avatar MIPI cable. That's really nice to have. I think I do. Oh well, no, they have it buried in the backing plate there. You can't. It doesn't look like you can get it out of the backing plate. So yeah, I have some extra MIPI cables. But they're not the right ones. Right, of course. So I have a bunch of extra MIPI cables, but they're the HD0 style MIPI cables. This is like I didn't realize this until just now, but the Avatar uses the DJI style MIPI cable. Basically, the little head on the cable where it plugs into the board, DJI uses a really slim little part, and then HD0 uses a much fatter. Not just HD0, but not just HD0, but the Runcam hybrids. The Runcam hybrids use the bigger, flatter piece as well. And Hockey Round says there's a camera in the Avatar bag as well. That's what I assumed was in the cool little. Ow! What is in my eyeball? Something went in my eyeball. The little bit of protective paper here. Ooh, and it's one of the small ones. Very cool. One of the little nano, not the super small light camera, but the slightly bigger camera, which is great. This is awesome. Thank you, dude. Very, very cool. I will grab some stuff. I have our conversation saved on as opposed to just deleting a conversation, I guess, on Discord. I'll jump through it where we've been talking about like what you might need, and I'll put a little box of stuff together and shoot, or a little envelope of stuff together and shoot it your way. Thank you, dude. Very, very cool. And there's one more thing, a set of the Rotor Riot Rampage specific. So this is kind of cool. I'm going to put these into the giveaways. I have a bunch of sets of these that I'm selfishly hoarding. But these are going to go into the giveaways for funsies. Set of the Rotor Riot Rampage purple printed Moonlight props with the little LEDs and all the good stuff. So very, very cool. Get your Moonlight prop on, yo. This Avatar coaxial cable I'm actually going to keep. I'm not going to give this away. I'm actually going to take it right out of the packaging here and put it into my little Avatar goggle case. Yeah, there is no removing this. Let me show you what I mean when I was talking about the back plate. So I don't love this. I don't love this setup, but I mean, it kind of is what it is. Like that's in there. You know what I mean? Like you can't, that is not coming out. So you can't just like get a MIPI cable and use it. You have to get like the Avatar specific MIPI cable for the specific camera that you've got. I mean, technically speaking, you could cut this back plate in half, right, and then remove it. But then what are you going to do? Run the camera without the back plate? You're not going to do that. I mean, I guess you could, but that's a ridiculous idea. Don't do that. Or do it. Do whatever you want. It's your life. Live it, yo. Thanks again, Hockey Rounds. Very, very cool of you. This will get put to proper use. I'm not sure in what. I'm not sure what I'm going to use this with, probably a ripsqueak, maybe? So this is the V1. So it's 25 by 25. You know what? I might actually use this in the Grinderino. I was going to use the V2 in the Grinderino, But the back, let's see if I'm going to use it in the Grinderino. If it'll fit, I'll use it. I was going to use the V2, but the V2 has 20 by 20 mounting, which will work in a ripsqueak. That's the pizza. Let me go get that pizza out. Hang on, friends. Just put a little bit of flying on here for you. Be right back. No. Ah, container chaos. Cool. Be right back. That's the battery where it got wet and shorted the ESC, but it's fine. It survived. Couldn't think of the word. All right, so let's see if this 25 by 25 V1 will fit in the rear. I have to assume that it will. Will fit in the rear of the Grinderino the old Grinderino. So if the antennas go backwards, oh, it actually might not. The antennas are like pointing in the complete wrong direction. Nah, it's okay. Maybe. Hold on. Oh, man. That's going to be tight. The antennas are going to push right up against the rear standoffs. I don't love that. So if I send the antennas out the side, it'll definitely work. But then there's a chance that they'll get hit by the props. So then the other option is to send the antennas out the front and then just bend them up and over. Could do that, and that's going to shorten them up real nice. Yeah, I'll probably do that. I mean, these wires are now have the potential to get hit by the props, but we're going to be on 3-inch props, and I can put the wires up like that. Like I can pull the wires up over the corner like that, you know, and that'll protect them pretty good. And then like run this up there. So yeah, that's what I'll probably do, is run them out the side like that. technically I could mount this the other way around. Oh, that's gonna suck though, because the this is the bind button here, and the bind button is gonna be towards the front. That's annoying. But I'll probably be able to get like a little tool in here to get to the bind button. You know what I mean? Like I'll probably be able to take the little spudger in there and just pop the bind button. And I'll only really need to hit the bind button once. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm going to put this into the old Grinderino. It looks like there's just enough clearance for this thing not to hit these rear standoffs. So that'll sit in there real nice. These guys will come up and over. Probably just shrimp wrap them to the rear standoffs, or maybe I'll do something a little more fancy. This cable I'll mount up and over like this. Maybe I'll like tape it down or something. Run it up there like that. And yeah, that'll pretty much be it. And then I guess I'll put the EP2 on top of this. Maybe I'll VHB it to these cooling fins here. Yeah. There was another little, there's another little piece that I haven't seen before in this bag. And it's this guy right here. I don't know what this is. It looks like maybe this stacks here or something like that. What is this? Or maybe does it stack on the bottom? What is this piece? So it obviously doesn't replace this heatsink piece. That's what it looks like. Maybe it replaces this top piece. Maybe. What are these little things, though? I think my guess is that it replaces this top piece. Yeah. And then I'm guessing that these slots are for locking into some kind of a mount. I think I remember somebody having a mount. J-Spin says receiver mount. Paulie Shortcuts with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, for all the help, even place an order on your affiliate for an 03 air unit today. Grab a beer on me. Very cool, dude. Thank you. Thank you very much. J-Spin says receiver mount. Like, as in the receiver sits in here? Huh. Doesn't this piece just, like, kind of lift off of here? I don't know. Let me look it up on their, let me look it up on the internet. I'm going to look it up on the internet. Chick with a stick getting all crazy. Let's see. Walksnail V1. Walksnail V1. Let's just start hitting buttons here. There it is on Amazon. That's the light. We don't want that. Here we go. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Is it going to show it with that black piece anywhere? Where's that black piece at? Walksnail mount. I feel like there was a mount that I feel like the one side of this little metal piece interfaced with some mount that I saw maybe on GetFPV, but I'm not seeing it now. Oh, Avatar mount. That's what I want to search for. Damn, I thought that would find it for sure. Oh no, the mount that I'm thinking of is an 03 air unit mount. That's what I'm thinking of. There was a GetFPV sells an O3 air unit like mount to adapt it to 20x20. What is this piece, yo? Nobody seems to have it. Hockey Round, you still in here? What's this extra little black piece? I'm stumped. Walksnail V1 extra black metal piece. How good are you, Google? Will you figure it out? Where the hell's the image? There it is. Walksnail Avatar V1 mount. Let's just search for mount. Maybe that'll find it. Come on. Where's it at? Where is it at? Someone somewhere on the internet has to have taken a picture of it. Someone must have. Oh, come on now. Really? How is this possible? Maybe Oscar will have a picture of everything that the VTX comes with. No. Damn. I am not often stumped, but it's looking like I'm stumped here, yo. What was that? Nah, that ain't it. Yeah, okay. 10 points to the first person that can figure out what the hell this little piece is. Bob Bruce says, I've purchased 4 of the V1 kits and have never seen the black piece that you have there. It's this little piece. There's a very specific raised bits on the bottom there. Like those very obviously Oh! That's got 20x20 on it, yo. That's 20x20 right there. Oh. This, okay. So this must be like an aftermarket part to adapt this thing to 20x20. Well, that's really cool. Right? That's 20x20, isn't it? Let's take a look. Oh, it is indeed. Oh, very cool. Okay. Yo, that's slick. So what if I search for Walksnail Avatar 20x20 adapter? This is the mount thing that I was thinking of from GetFPV. This is what I was envisioning. Wow, how am I having such a hard time finding it? Jeez. Okay. I'm gonna assume that that's what it is and move on. Mayan Hawk says that's the HD0 freestyle mount. Is it really? Is that what this is? It looks like it's really specifically meant for the Avatar. That's indented there. This shape on the bottom. See it? Can anybody else confirm what in the hell this is? These cutouts make it look like it's specific for a frame, right? Like this looks like it wants to slot into. Night Train says search for heatsink. Good call. I never know how to spell heatsink. Is it S-I-N-K, S-I-N-C? Still not finding it. Interesting. Heat in sync. That's it. Job done. Okay, let's stop obsessing over this and do the things that I said I was going to do in the live stream. We'll figure this out. Somebody leave in the comments what the hell this is. Extra Mippy and okay. Let's get the Grinderino on out of here. We can work on that more on Friday. This is gonna go. Wait, no. Yeah. Grinderoonie. There it is, yo. So, the big moment. What color will it be? The randomization of the hummingbirds comes to an end right now. And we see what color, the one that you beautiful people can maybe win on next Monday's giveaway. It's yellow with a clear frame. What do you think of that? And it comes with some red propellers, so you can get all McDonald's-y with it. Very cool. The first thing I want to check out is there any... Whoa, okay. Okay. So, this is the heavyweight frame. Because, good lord, is this frame still... Although, wait, no, hold on. I'm all used to the Meteor... I'm thinking about the Meteor 65 Air frame. Hold on. Let me grab the hummingbird that blew up, and I want to check out the frames between the two of them. On Newbie Drone's website, on the product page, it talks about how there are two different frame options. That's the wrong camera. And yeah, one of them's a little bit lighter, one of them's a little bit heavier. And I think that this is the heavier frame, and I'm pretty sure that it is indeed the heavier frame. You can just sort of see the difference in the clearness of each one. Well, it's hard to see on camera. Nah, I think you can kind of see it. Well, this has black motors in it. This does not. But I still do think... Okay, so look back here. See how the one on the left is more clear? I think the one on the left is the heavier frame. Let me give them the twist test. And... the twist test ain't gonna work because this has the canopy on it. Oh, the twist test totally works. This one is very obviously more wobbly. And then this one is significantly stiffer. So cool. We've now got both. Oh yeah, you can really see the difference. You can really see that this one over here is much more clear. Yeah, it doesn't show up that great on camera. No, you can see it. You look up here. Look up here. You can totally see that this one's more clear and this one's a little bit foggier. So let me show you what I mean. They mention it on the product page here. I'm gonna go to Newbie Drone and we're gonna go to the Hummingbird, and they call it out right down here. Where the hell is it? There it is. So total weight without battery. So the first one that we got was in the PP frame, which is 2.18 grams. This one that we just got is the PC frame, which is 23.35 grams. Good lord, that's 1.1 something extra grams heavier for the PC frame. That's a significant increase. Cool. Well, now we got to check out both frames. That's pretty slick. I wonder if you can see it in the product pictures here. So like, if I zip through the product pictures, look here at how clear it is. So my guess is going to be that these are the lightweight frames. I got the red one initially, so lightweight frame on the red one. I'm sorry, I didn't get the red one. I got the teal one. So lightweight frame on the teal one, it looks like, right? And No. That looks like the lightweight frame, and that's the yellow one that I did just get. So yeah, we can't figure it out from the pictures. I think it's just like a fully randomized thing. Neat. More randomness in life. Just what we need. Now, I dig that there's some randomness in it. Curtis Hayes with a $5 super chat. He says, I have a BLV4 ELRS and the connector from the T antenna smashed in a crash. Can't find a replacement with that mini UFL connector and short coax. Help. Have you contacted Newbie Drone? That is... So that's an IPEX connector. And I don't know if I've ever seen a 2.4 tuned antenna with an IPEX connector on it. That's not true. There's plenty of those because the FR Sky RXSRs used those tiny little IPEXs. But get in touch with Newbie Drone. They'll probably just send you a replacement. If for some reason you can't find a replacement, go on Amazon, use my affiliate link if you don't mind, and search for RXSR antenna. And there you go. You can get 10 of them for $8. Or search the FPV resellers to see if you can find them. But yeah, worst case scenario, here you go. 2.4 gig replacement antenna. I thought it said IPEX. There it is. IPEX 4 V4 port. So yeah, there's your tiny little connector. And then these guys are tuned for 2.4. Yes, technically the T antenna is going to work a little bit better, but it's a tiny whoop. You're probably never gonna need the extra range from the T antenna. These little guys will also probably be a little bit lighter for you. These are a little bit long, so this is kind of like last resort. I would definitely contact Newbie Drone first, and they will hook you up. But God forbid, yeah, here's a solution for you. Okay. Let's go through all of the prep stuff on this Hummingbird to get it ready. If you buy a Hummingbird F4 V3, you should take it out of the box and you should do these things. Here we go. Ready? It's time. It's time to do the things. It's time to do the Hummingbird things. I gotta get caught up on chat though too. I'll try to get caught up on chat while I'm doing this stuff. CMYK, drop in the CiottiFPV.com link. There's a million ways you can support me over there. I do need your support. I'm fully crowdfunded. If you have a couple of extra dollars, it'll only cost you 7.5 cents per hour of content that I create on a monthly basis, just from the live streams. So yeah, help a brother out. Join my Patreon. Yeah, you'll benefit yourself. I swear. Curtis Preston says, I worked at Wine Country Motorsports for years, dealing safety gear at Sonoma Raceway. I live and die on the road course, but mostly drifting. I have an 87 A86 and a 2J 240 hatch. Damn, dude. Very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. Hockey Round says there's a camera in the avatar bag. We got that. Metadixon says the O3 comes pretty close to the 20x20 stack in mine. If that thing is bigger, it might be tight. Chicklist, we got that. Hockey Round says, I'm not sure what it is. Looked important, though. Mayan Hawk says, do you have tune recommendations for the Meteor 65 22,000 kV? My tune suggestions are always to stick with the stock tune initially. Oh, look, this one has come with the propellers pushed all the way down on the motors. That is the first time I've gotten a rig from Newbie Drone where the props are actually all the way down on the motors. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, my tune recommendations are always to fly the stock tune first. On Betaflight 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, the stock tune is really, really good. And it will probably be damn near perfect for you. If it isn't, then depending on what you want to improve, you can just push the sliders up. The sliders all have really good little tool tips under the question mark that you can roll over, and it explains what each of the sliders does. So yeah, just roll through the tool tips, look at what each of the sliders does, and then anything that you want to improve, just move the slider up. I always recommend that you move the slider, if it's 1.0, you move it to 1.2. 1.05, 1.1, 1.15, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. If you move it 0.2 at a time, you might actually be able to tell the difference. If you can't tell a difference, move it another 0.2. Move it up to 1.4. Eventually, you're going to be able to tell a difference. That'll be either good or bad. If it's good, leave it. If it's bad, back it off. And there you go. That's tuning in 2023. There's really no reason to run anybody else's tune or any of the presets. They're going to, in my experience, cause more problems than they actually fix. Bob, we got that. Metal Dirtson says the heat sink, as in the thing you dump heat into. Indeed. Okay, so when you get your Hummingbird, make sure that the propellers are pushed all the way down on the motors. Next thing you're going to do is tighten the two outer canopy screws and remove the rear canopy screw. We're going to talk about that in a second here. So first things first, let's tighten these out. The reason why we want to tighten these outer screws is that when this thing comes, they're a little bit loose, and you see how the canopy can move around? You don't want that. You don't want the canopy to be able to move like that. That's going to allow the canopy to kind of rattle around, and that's bad. So just crank this thing down a little bit. You'll feel the resistance as it starts to get tight, and then it won't move anymore. And now you got to do the same thing to the other side. Be careful because these are threading into plastic, so don't go really hammering on them. Just twist until you get a little bit of resistance, and then do that, and see, that's not enough. See, it's still moving on there. So that's not quite tight enough yet. You're tightening it into a rubber grommet that eventually is going to grip it enough that it no longer moves around. So we still got a little bit of movement there. Let's keep going. Another like half turn or so. Almost there. Almost there. You can also like look at it like this, right? And you can see that like you got the yellow and then you got a little bit. It's kind of hard because if you tilt it down up a little bit, you want to just get it perfectly even. You want to get it even so that the ducts, like look here, right? That's not even, that's not even, that's even. See it? Like where this, the propeller just disappears. You can't see the top, so move it up. Boom, there we go. And now, once it's even, look at the gap between the side of the canopy and the frame. We got a little bit of a gap there. And now spin it around. And you can do the same thing on the other side. You can see it's a little bit less of a gap on this side. So that means we need to keep cranking this side down. So let's give it another half turn or so. And now let's check it. And now it's not moving anymore. See it? So now we're good to go. And if we do that little test on the side here, we can see that it looks just like the other side now in terms of this gap here. So there we go. We've tightened both canopy screws to make sure that the canopy is now secure. The rear canopy screw, in my opinion, is too short. And on a bunch of different websites, you can get Mobula 7 hardware that is just longer. It's just a longer set of screws. I've hoarded them. I've bought them a couple of times as I've done each order. And I've hoarded them a little bit here. So let me just find one. Here's one. All right, there it is. Put the rest of these guys away. This is a little bag of Mobula hardware, Happy Model hardware, which is, they use some like specific screws for their canopies to hold it down to the frames. they use another specific screw to hold their camera into their canopy. So I just have a little bag with all the Happy Model hardware that I've ever gotten to just kind of keep it together. So this is it, man. This is all you need to significantly improve the strength of your Hummingbird. I'm really hoping that they will start including these, like snag a bunch of these and start including them. Look at the difference in length, right? So when we're talking about the way that this frame is, and we can kind of look at the frame that came on the other Hummingbird, the problem is right in here. This is what happens when you start to crash the shit out of it, and it's got the short hardware in it. The short hardware is not long enough to drive into this nice meaty bit down here. So the short screw is only really engaging this top part. And so when you start crashing really hard, it'll just break that top part right off. Whereas if you run the longer screw, it'll drive itself all the way down into this nice big thick part of the plastic here. I'm going to show you on this broken one. And in fairness, even after this broke, I just swapped in the large screw and it started working again because look at it. Look, it's going all the way down in there. Look how deep it's going into this really strong part. And you're never going to break this strong part. Look how this strong part is braced, right? It's got these big, tall braces here. It's never going to rip those off. So yeah, this is really important. Shit, how deep is it threaded? It's threaded, good Lord, it's threaded all the way. Jeez. Yeah, so that's incredibly strong. It's got threading all the way down through it. So yeah, man, this longer screw in the rear is a really good idea. And I mean, there's nothing stopping you from doing that on the sides as well. I find that the rear is what takes the majority of the stress because of what happens with this canopy when you crash. I showed you on the other stream, but basically when you crash, look what happens to the rear. It just, yeah, I mean, like it tries to break that rear post. Whereas when you look at the sides, they don't really do much of anything. They just kind of, they turn like this a little bit, but it's pretty thin here. So they're not really putting hardly any stress on these side ones. I've never had the frame failure occur on these side ones. The only thing I've ever had is if you hit really hard, you can break the goober canopy right here. But man, you have to hit really hard to do that. This rear mounting point, it's a much better spot to kind of focus on because that's where it typically lets go. So I'm going to take this nice long Mobulus screw and I'm going to put it into this rear mounting hole. And now this thing is going to be extra durable for whoever wins this on 2 Mondays from now's giveaway live stream. And same kind of deal, you just want to make sure that you get it tight enough for the canopy to not be able to move around. So keep pushing on it, keep checking it. Not quite good enough, right? See it moving a little bit on the screw head. Keep screwing it down. As I showed with the other frame, it is it does have threading pretty far in there, so that's good. What I like to do is put a finger down here. Put a finger down here and then tighten it up. These screws have like a tiny little Phillips head and it loves to strip. So just put like your thumb down here and then push against your thumb. If you're doing it on the table, you'll see like the frame is kind of flexing a lot. So don't play that game. Put a thumb right below the spot and then really push in so that you don't strip the screw. Almost there. Another quarter turn and we should be golden. Nope, a little bit more. I just want the canopy to not move around on the screw. That's kind of the goal here. Is that it? That's it. There we go. plenty tight, and then I'll look at it flat. So yeah, there we go. Those are the structural kind of things that I think you should do when you get your Hummingbird. Replacing that rear screw is going to really, really help it. I think you can get the Mobula screws from anywhere, but I mean, just to kind of show you, if you go to Google, you can type Mobula 7 screw, and Race Day Quad sells them. Into FPV apparently sells them. Tell me that Race Day Quads isn't the only place that sells them. Amazon have them? Nah, that's not it. Mobula 7 screw. Here they are. $32. Don't pay $32 for them, that's for sure. That's them, though. That's what they are. So that's what you're looking for. They're just, yeah, it's easy to see. They're very obviously longer. If anybody finds them on any other stores, do me a favor and just put the name of the store and what you searched for into the chat. You might not be able to drop a link in the chat. You will not be able to drop a link in the chat unless you're a moderator, or just get them from RDQ. They're $1.99, and it comes with a couple of. Well, that's interesting. Comes with a couple of long type rubber grommets, which are really nice to have. So there you go, friends. Nate Adams says, hold on. CMYKFPV says, Riot9 says almost exactly like the color of the thumbnail. I completely forgot that I took a picture of it for the thumbnail. Maybe somebody didn't see the thumbnail. CMYKFPV says, got the ripsqueak back in the air with the Speedy Bee stack. I'm getting heavy trilling / oscillations on throttle and yaw. Hovers well, and I can cruise. Quick solution. Betaflight 4.3.2. Check all the mechanical things first. Make sure there's no screws driving into the motor windings. I know you probably already checked, but check again. Check the arms to make sure none of them are delaminating. Check all your screws to make sure they're tight. And then check the soft mounting on the flight controller to make sure that the flight controller is floating and you don't have anything pushed up against it, basically hard mounting it. Those are the most common causes. Don't start screwing around in Betaflight yet. That's like last possible thing. You know, with stock-ish sliders. Also, check, put a fresh set of propellers on. Take the propellers off, spin the motors up in Betaflight. Make sure there's not 1 or 2 motors that are vibrating like hell. Yeah, those are all of the mechanical things 99% of the time. That's the problem is going to be somewhere in there. Man, on the stock tune, I really do not like the idea of making the stock tune worse, right? Like, which is, you know, although I guess it does depend. If on the stock tune you're not getting bounce back and you're not getting prop wash, then you can back the stock tune off to potentially help with this problem or add more filtering. But I always try everything else possible before that. Because, yeah, turning the sliders down on the tune makes the tune worse. Adding filtering makes the tune worse. So, yeah, those are kind of last resort. So, yeah, there you go. Try those things. Nate Adams says, I have a Mobula 7 stock CLI with X12 AIO. It defaults to pit mode every time I plug in. I can turn pit mode off in Betaflight or OSD menu, but it comes back every time I plug in a new battery. Nate, ask me this question again when we're flying this rig, and I'll show you potentially why that's happening. It's in the VTX menu, and then it's in the sub menu, and there's a thing that can either be set to free or race, and you want to switch it. It'll probably be on race. You want to switch it to free. But remind me of that question. Tag me when we're flying, and I'll show you in the OSD how to get there, because it's kind of buried. Hockey Round says, Bob Bruce has posted his Vegas flight. Very cool. I'm assuming that's over on the Discord channel. You guys should check that out for sure. I'm trying to find the video collective right now. There it is. Building dive from Vegas at the Westgate Hotel. Let's just fast forward a little bit here. Oh, yeah. Look, there's even a little channel. Oh, I guess it's not a channel. It's just a strip. Hell yeah. Mobula 7, 30,000 kV. Jesus. Awesome. Go get you some, friends. Subscribe to Bob's channel for sure. Subscribe to all the channels, yo. From all the beautiful people that hang out here. All right, cool. We're good. Sam H says, thank you, sir, with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother, for supporting the insanity. Okay, so we did the canopy mod. We pushed the propellers down onto the motors all the way. Let's bind it and fly it. What else were we gonna do? What else were we gonna do? I had 5 things: canopy, props, software tuning stuff. I think the rear screw is tied in with the canopy. Good Lord, I forget. I'm gonna put this extra screw in the box here. In the bag, not the box. All right. Greenhorn FPV says, have you experienced jittering when hitting the yaw for turning with the Betaflight 1S 5 amp AIO? If so, do you know what can cause it? I've not experienced that. I'm trying to figure out what you're getting at here. Yaw is the least. Yaw is the axis that has the least, like, grip and authority. So jittering when you yaw is very weird, because if the tune is too aggressive, it really kind of won't matter. Because because there's just not enough. Yeah, when we get jittering on pitch, roll, and pitch and roll, it's because there's a very quick, like, the quad can very quickly spin up one motor, and then it can spin up the other motor, and that's what can cause that jittering. There's just the response time is very low, so there's a very quick response, so it can cause that. On the yaw axis, the way that it makes yaw happen is by the rotation of the motors. So it's going to spin up 2 of these motors, and that, like, centrifugal force, basically, of that rotation changing is what's going to yaw it. So the yaw axis is a lot slower, and you typically will not get, like, yaw wind up or yaw jittering. So that's a really weird problem. Man, is that a weird problem? My guess is actually that the gyro is starting to shit the bed, and that on the yaw axis, so the gyro has little things inside that vibrate back and forth, and they've got a set which vibrate this direction, they've got a set that vibrate this direction, and then there's ones that vibrate this direction so that it can read pitch, roll, and yaw. And what happens a lot with our gyros, even right out of the box, is that like one of those in there will fail. But it's interesting because more often than not, it'll only fail on one of those axes, right? So what my guess is that one of those little vibraty bastards that is on the yaw axis is starting to fail. So in your black box logs, if it had, well, it actually might have black box, you'll probably notice that the yaw axis in the black box is very jaggedy. That's electrical noise. That's like garbage, bad data from that, the gyro shitting the bed. That's my guess. Just because, the yaw axis just doesn't usually have a quick enough response time to jitter like that, right? It's why we can get away with running really high yaw P gain values. We can run our yaw P gain up to like 150, 160, and it's usually fine just because it's such a slow to respond axis. So yeah, that's my guess. You can try turning down the yaw P gain or adding more filtering, but I really don't think that that's going to help. So yeah, sorry, dude. I wish I had an easier fix for you, but I think that I'm leaning towards the gyro being on its way out, just on that one axis. Nate Adams says, Riot 9, that was the problem. Did not know that setting existed. Guessed lucky with all my previous modulas. What's Riot 9 talking about? Riot 9, that was the problem. What did Riot 9 say? Might be just called FS mode in the VTX stuffs. That's it, FS mode. Change it from race, or well, this is my best guess. Yep, Riot 9 is dead on the money there. Ice Cream Hoagie with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, what do I adjust for throbbles? On a 3-inch toothpick only happens when I swap to GemFan bi-blades. Tried messing with D and IP sliders, no luck. So throbbles, technically, eventually, if you add enough P and D gain, you can help them out. But the Betaflight devs have, in a bunch of releases ago, introduced something called anti-gravity that is specifically designed to handle throbbles. So in the PIDs tab off on the right, you'll see anti-gravity, and there's a little question mark after it, like all of them. When you roll over that question mark, it'll pop up a tooltip that'll give you a brilliant explanation of what it is. You're basically just going to raise that number. That being said, it's interesting that you say that it only happens when you swap to GemFan bi-blades. What that says to me is that your motors are not a high enough kV to make enough power to handle those throbbles. So I'll bet you if you went to a higher kV motor, it would fix the issue. When you go to a tri-blade propeller, the lower RPM that you've got is band-aided by the extra blade, by the extra pitch, right? So yeah, you could fix the problem either way. Personally, I try to fix things mechanically and then just make like the last little touch-ups with the tune. But that's not the free way of doing it, right? The free way of doing it is in the software. So yeah, anti-gravity is the feature in Betaflight that's going to help that out. Move it like 2 digits at a time. Like right now, it's going to be at either 5 or 8. Move it up to either 7 or 10. You don't want the anti-gravity to be too high. You want to get it just high enough where the throbbles stop. If you get the anti-gravity too high, what you'll notice is when you go throttle up and then down, you'll hear the quad go whoop, whoop. Like as you're lowering the throttle, it'll blip the throttle again within the anti-gravity because it's too high. What you always want is just whoop, You know what I mean? Like throttle up, throttle down, whoop, and then that's it. And you want it to be nice and quiet after you zero the throttle back down. So yeah, that's how you know the anti-gravity is too high. You'll hear like a double throttle blip when you've only given it one throttle blip. You got to give it a sharp throttle blip though. You can't just like raise it like this. You got to like really stab it and bring it back down. And yeah, so you can, that's the other way to adjust anti-gravity, is just to keep raising it until you start to hear that double blip when you really rocket the throttle up and down quick. So you can tune it either way. Charles Marseille says maybe tiny desyncs, more power demand on big yaw moves on 2 motors to keep the same thrust increases the desyncing. I doubt that. Desyncs are usually not tiny. They're usually like tumble out of the air. The tiny lockups that you feel are typically receiver based. Those are typically micro fail-safes. Desyncs are usually like big and it just stalls the motor out, and that instantly drops that arm. So yeah, I've never experienced desyncs that don't tumble the damn thing out of the air. Okay, so let's dive back into the Hummingbird here. Let's fly a couple of batteries with the Gold PH 2.0, the fixes, all the good stuff, and actually no, let's not do that. The whole point here is to adjust Bluejay. I forgot. Sorry guys. Yeah, before we plug a battery into this thing, the other really important thing to do is to backdate Bluejay. And I'm actually going to backdate it all the way to 0.16. Newbie Drone is saying that you can just backdate it to 0.19. I have not seen any improvements since Bluejay 0.16. And on a bunch of different AIOs and ESCs, I've actually seen them perform significantly worse after 0.16. So I just put everything onto 0.16. Hello.
I'm looking for Mom.
She's still out.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the thing said she was home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where's her car? Is her car here?
I don't know.
We'll check. I need a battery for this. I did charge them last night, which is great. So, all right, let's get this thing bound, and we will backdate Bluejay, and then we'll get it up in the air, totally stock on the backdated Bluejay, and I'll show you like the entire process with that. Cool. And I also have to change the modes and all that good stuff. So let's get it. Let's backdate it first. Let's not power it up. Well, I will have to power it up to backdate it, but let's try to not power it up with the too short gate timing and with Bluejay 0.2. So we're gonna plug into USB, and like I said, we are gonna need to power it up because you have to have power to the ESC FETs in order to backdate it. So now we're gonna go to esc-configurator.com. Update available. To update the app, refresh or restart it. What? No. Oh, it's talking about Chrome. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna hit connect, and now is when we need to give it power. So let's plug a battery in. There we go. And we're gonna go to read settings, and we're gonna take a look at which we just want this 3-digit code here. So it's OH5. We're actually gonna move the 5 is the gate timing. We're gonna move the gate timing to 10. So the version of Bluejay that we... Oh, it's on 0.16. Oh. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's plug in the old... Maybe they... This did take a little bit longer to get here than I thought it would have. maybe they've already backdated these. So this is the old flight controller with the blown up MOSFETs. Let's see what version is on this, because I did not backdate this one. Ah, look at that, 0.20. Okay. So apparently they are now shipping them with 0.16. That's great. I thought that they were going to backdate them to 0.19, and I was kind of bummed about that. I told Kelvin, I was like, hey man, you know, tell people to backdate to 0.16. It's 0.16 is what you want. And it looks like they've listened, which is amazing. So, but I am going to change the gate timing, and I am going to show you how to change the gate timing. But I love, there is, you guys will see it if you get one. There's a link to a Bluejay article talking about the problems with 0.20. But yeah, let's do the gate timing anyway, just to make absolutely sure that we've done all the things. So yeah, that's awesome. If you order a Hummingbird, it looks like it's going to come with Bluejay 0.16, which is great. And you probably don't need to change the gate timing, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. So you plug it in, you put power to it, you come up here to ESC configurator, you click connect, you come down here, you click read settings, it's going to beep, and then you take a look right here, OH5. But what we actually want is OH10. But now you know what it is. OH10 is what we're going to be looking for. So you can actually unplug it, because you got to go to a website and download the right one. I have it bookmarked here. I'm going to drop this bookmark into the chat. And I am also going to put this bookmark into the description of this live stream. So there you go. There's the link. And here at this link, all you're going to do is look for OH10. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, and O. So then we've got O, L. We don't want that. We've got OH. There it is. And we've got 25. Wow, 0 gate timing. I'll be damned. So here it is, OH10. And now you get to choose what can't think of what it's called. What K you want it to run at. 24K, 48K, 96K. 24K is going to give you the best engine braking, so it's going to give you the best dive performance. 48K is going to give you more thrust and more efficiency. 96K is just going to fly like a bag of smashed buttholes. If you only care about runtime, 96K is what you want for runtime, but it really sacrifices braking, and it just doesn't fly good. So I would stay away from 96. I'm going to do 48 because I don't plan on doing big dives with this. So OH10 48 is what we want. Click it, and it's going to download. Come into downloads here, and there it is. OH10 48 V.16. That's what you want. So now you've got it here in downloads. You can go back to ESC configurator, plug in power to the quad again. We're going to connect. Hold on. Oh, here, attention Bluejay users. If you're still on 0.2, please downgrade to 0.19. There have been issues with stall detection, motor protection, might result in broken ESCs and or motors. We're going to click connect. There it goes. And we're going to click read settings. And now we're going to flash all. It's down here. So we see that we're on OH5 0.16, almost there. We want to go OH10. So you're going to come down here to flash all ESCs. And then you're going to ignore this stuff. And you're going to flash local firmware. The reason why you're going to ignore this stuff is because it only goes 0.19, 0.18, and 0.17. 0.16 is no longer in here, which is why we have to download it separately. So you're going to go to flash local firmware. And then you're just going to select that file that we just saw in our downloads folder. Give it a second. Come on. Come on. There we go. So we're gonna go to downloads and let's sort by date added, and there we go. OH10 48.16. Open it, and it does the rest. There we go. What? It did not. No changes, not updating ESC4. Should be changes. What the hell? Let's try again. They're still on OH5. That's weird. Flash all ESCs, flash local firmware. No changes, not updated. No change. What? Bueller? Let's try something. Let's flash it to 0.17, 48, OH10. Let's try this real quick. Flash. What? Why is it? It just keeps saying no changes, not updating. What? Let's try them individually, maybe? No changes, not updating. What? I'm making changes. Let's try changing the PWM frequency, maybe? No changes, not updating. What? Bueller? What? The option to ignore MCU headers is in the flash window. Ah, okay. Ignore inappropriate MCU and layout. Yes. Okay, let's see if that helps. OH1048, flat. There it goes. Good call, Brandon. Thank you, brother. That's weird. I've not had that happen before. That's a new one. Very cool. So now it's flashing OH10 Bluejay 0.16 48K to each one of these fellas. The motor direction is normal on all of them, so it's going to maintain that, so we're going to be good to go. I'm going to make a couple little changes once this is flashed here that I like to make, but yeah. Simple stuff. Nothing crazy. All right, last one here. And here we go. So the things that I like to change over. Oh, look, they've got the minimum startup power cranked all the way up. That's interesting. So they've already got the minimum starting power cranked all the way up. Motor timing is on medium high. That's the good setting. Beacon settings, I like to always turn these up a little bit. The little tiny whoop motors are so quiet when you turn the beeper on that you can barely hear them. So I like to turn the beep strength and the beacon strength up. The beacon delay I always turn down to 2 minutes. If the quad is powered on and it hasn't received any inputs in 2 minutes, it'll start beeping, just as a little reminder, like, hey, I'm still on, yo. I like brake on stop, although with a tiny whoop, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to hurt anybody with a tiny whoop. You don't need it to brake on stop when you disarm it. So yeah, we're just going to make those couple little settings, and then we're going to hit right settings, and we're good to go. All is right with the world. Slightly longer gate timing. Bluejay 0.16, which it already came with. Let's see how it flies right out of the box, which last time it was pretty damn good. And then we're going to make a couple of changes in Betaflight. Nope, we're going to put this into Betaflight now because I need to bind it. I need to set the modes. I need to set AETR to TAER. I'm tempted to just do a diff from the other one. Nah, let's not do that. All right, Betaflight coming up here. Okay, connect Hummingbird F4 rather V3. PID tuning. So no, we don't want PID tuning. We want receiver. And so we're going to go to TAER. That's just the way that my transmitter is set up. Yours is probably not set up like that. Stick low threshold of 1,000, stick high threshold of 2,000. Get you a little bit more resolution on the sticks. And then let's put a little bit of deadband in. 4 points, save it. Okay, and then we're going to come to modes. Arm is on aux1, that's good to go. Angle mode I turn all the way off. Horizon mode is on aux2, that's good in the upper switch position. Beeper is going to be on aux3 in the center switch position. Sorry, not the center switch position. The all the way down switch position. LED low, I like to put that on aux2 in the down switch position. OSD disable, I'm going to wait on this because in the diff from the other one will be the proper OSD disable setup. It does not have black box. Flip over after crash, I like to have in the middle switch position here. Do that. And then launch control for funsies on aux2 in the center switch position. And that's it. Save it. Now my modes, the way I like them, are set up properly. We'll leave the OSD alone. Let's come into configuration. Accelerometer is on. Hummingbird V3, we'll leave that alone. FPV camera angle in degrees, I always zero this out. I can't believe anybody still sells products with that turned on. It does this weird thing where it tries to mix yaw and roll. It's I don't get it. And then right here, this is where our these are the switches that we have to turn on for the beeper to work, the built-in ESC beeper. So we got that. Look at this, in-flight accelerometer calibration, in-flight level calibration. What is that? I've never seen that turned on before. LED strip is turned on because it's got 4 addressable LEDs in the corners. OSD is on, air mode is on. Save and reboot. And now all we need to do is bind it, and it should be flyable. Let's find out. So we're gonna kick this on. There is a bind button on the bottom of this thing, which is great. It's right up in the front. And apparently, well, not apparently, I've done this before. You power it on, and then you hit the bind button, and it'll bind on up. It does have Bluejay 3.0 on it, so this is my module that's flashed with 3.0. My other module is on 2.5. And so here we go. We are gonna put power to it first. Well, can't do it with the battery in because then we won't be able to get to the button. So power on. Take something plastic so you don't short things out. Push the bind button. There we go. And then go to your module or your transmitter and go to bind mode. Binding. All right, I always like to do it a second time just to make absolutely sure. Although the transmitter just vibrated, so we're good. But I'll push the button one more time, go back into bind mode, send bind request, binding. Good to go. Transmitter should vibrate again. It's already bound, so I guess it's not going to vibrate. Yep, we're good. So there you go, friends. ELRS can be easy to bind as long as everything is on the same version. And the quad is made by Newbie Drone. I've had a really hard time binding rigs, as many of you know, on ELRS. Never been able to figure out what the deal is, but hey, all's well that ends well, I guess. All these sayings that just get improperly used all the time make me want to scream. And I'm not immune to that problem. So here we go. Okay, it's not on the right channel. I forgot to go into the VTX table and change the channel and put on low power until first arm. So let's do that real quick. This is the other thing that I like to do right off the bat. Gonna go to video transmitter here, and we're gonna put it onto race band 8. Like, you might as well set your channel, right? Like, you fly the same channel all the time. And then down here on low power disarm, I'm gonna turn it to on until first arm. And there we go, save it. And now it'll boot up on the right channel. And it will run the VTX on pit mode until I first arm it, which is just a nice little thing. And now I'm going to show you guys where the weird pit mode setting is in the OSD. So let's do that real quick. I forget who was asking about that, but let's knock that out. So sticks, left stick to the left, right stick forward, put you into the OSD, and then you're going to go into features, and then VTX. Oh, well, this doesn't have it. On normal rigs with the normal OSD chip, there's going to be an option here called like setup. You're going to push right stick to the right in setup, and then in the next menu that opens up, there's only going to be one option for you, and it's going to be either free or race. Change it to the other one and see if the pit mode on all the time thing stops. For us, though, we're going to fly this thing. Maybe. Why is it not arming? What's happening? Says connected. Let's power cycle it. It is getting a little bit hot from being plugged in. Maybe it's just a little cranky. Okay. Let's try this one more time here. And all right. Hey, now we got it. Whoa, it's in. Oh, I forgot to change the rates. I thought it was an angle mode or something. Jesus, these rates that it comes with. Oh my god. What the hell, dude? Yo, these rates are awful that it comes with. They're incredibly touchy on center. I cannot fly it like that. Holy crap. I can kind of get the rates. I can't tell if it's on actual rates or not. I'm going to do it in Betaflight properly. I can't believe I forgot to change the rates. What a jackass. Very important. Change your rates. Good Lord. That was shocking. I haven't flown rates that are super sensitive in the middle like that in a long time. That is brutal. Okay, so we're going to go to PID tuning, and then we're going to go to rate profile. It is on actual rates, so that's good. Why is it flipping like that? What is the rates preview doing? That's weird. Whatever. Oh, yeah, look at that center sensitivity. That's way too high. We're going to come all the way down to 40, and max rotation of 700 is good. And then the Expo, I run tons of Expo, so I'm going to put that up to 0.7. I think you should too. And there we go. We're all set. And there's the wacky tune that it comes with. And here's anti-gravity over here for Throbbles. And here are the tooltips that explain it. Cool. All right. Now it'll be flyable. Let's see how it is. We got there, man. Took us a couple tries, but we got there. All right, stone stock Hummingbird V3. Oh, much better. Oh my God. All is right with the world. Oh my God. I wanted to try to not crash this thing super hard. I am not going to take it upstairs, because upstairs the crashes are going to happen on hardwood. Let's check the tip. Man, look how good it handles prop wash. And I immediately managed to slam into like one of the only things down here that's hard. Great. Look at it eat the prop wash, yo. There is something with this tune, man. The tune that it comes with is really weird, and some of the values are really low, but it just works. Somebody that knows how to fly, my guess would be Nightwing, did the tune on this. It does lack a little bit of yaw authority. Like when I really snap it around on yaw, see how lazy that kind of is? Can you guys see that? That's not like the motors being underpowered. That's just a lack of yaw P gain. So we'll actually fix that in the OSD. I'll show you how to fix that in the OSD real quick here. Everything held up. I'm gonna tighten down these. The canopy is moving around just a little bit, so I'm just gonna tighten up these canopy screws a little tiny bit, just a little bit more here. Okay, there's one, and there's the other. Okay, cool. Now we're good to go. Awesome. Let me hit the back one again too. They didn't loosen up. They're threading into plastic, so they're really not gonna loosen up. All right. Yeah, that's the ticket. Okay, cool. Let's put another couple batteries through it, and then we're gonna do some other stuff to it. But I want to show you how to just bring the yaw alive. Like right now, the yaw just feels kind of dead and loose and sloppy. And like I said earlier in the stream, you can really push the yaw P gains hard without causing any problems. So I'm just going to jam a bunch of yaw in so that you can get a feel for how quick it rotates around. And now we're going to go into profile and PID and yaw P gain. See 38? That's super, super, super low. Let's go all the way up to 100. And you should be able to see a difference at 100. And it shouldn't cause any actual problems. Other than it now, for some reason, showing 0 RSSI. And being unwilling to rebind. Or, I don't know, if it lost its bind or whatever. But it is in need of a power cycle for some reason. So let's do that real quick. That was weird. I don't know why that happened. All right, let's give it a second to bind here. And, all right, come on, little buddy. Uh-oh. What's happening? Oh, nope, I just got a vibration on the transmitter. Huh. Let's power cycle it one more time, and then we will rebind it if we need to. What's up, little fella? You're unhappy. Why are you unhappy? All I did was change the P gains on y'all. Oh, strange. All right, let's try to rebind it. That's odd. Can't say I've ever seen that before. Let's see what's going on here. Power it on. Get into the bind setting on my module. Bind mode, and then push the button on the front here. And press to send bind request, binding. Good to go. All set. That's weird. When I save and exited, I guess it wiped the bind out for some reason. That I've never had that happen before. That's kind of weird. But, you know, FPV, yo. Everything's weird all the time. Riot9 says, can you still show us that F-free race mode in the VTX so I can link to the part of the video for next time, please? Yep, Riot, I will hook up a... I'll throw a battery on a Mobula 7 and show you where that's at. And now we're bound again. So we've now got a bunch of extra P gain. We've got like triple the P gain on yaw. See the difference? See how much quicker it comes around on yaw? Still feels kind of lazy compared to what I'm used to. So let's do something here. Let's go back in here and we're going to add even more. But we're also going to add feed forward. So if you go up, it brings you to the second page. You can just go all the way down and it'll do the same thing. But let's add a bunch of feed forward. Let's move the feed forward up to 150. And 140 is close enough. Save and exit. And look, it wiped the bind out again. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It's good. All right. Now look at it. See how much... It's just like instant that it comes around on y'all. The feed forward is not going to help the flight performance at all. It's just going to help with the stick response. Oh my god. Oh no. Don't be stuck. Don't be stuck in the sim rig. Yes! Sometimes you gotta just full throttle it out of places. Stop it, stop it! Let me go! Sim rig, let me go! Thank you. Ciotti loops all day, my friends. Oh. Oh my god, I just flew right into the top of the gate for absolutely no reason. Oh boy, it's a crash festival! We're gonna crash over and over. Where is it? Where are you, little guy? Beeper is on. Let's see if I can find it. Is it all the way back here? Where the hell is it? Oh my god. Where you at, little fella? What? Oh my god, it's all the way back here. Jeez. How'd you get back that far, friend? Oh god. Okay. Alright, here we go. Beeper off. And let's jam the rest of this battery. Okay, so that is a success. And to be honest, that's how I would fly it. If you're a little bit more advanced and you want to go a little farther down the rabbit hole, I'm going to show you how to do that. But that right there is what I would do to the Hummingbird to, get it flyable. And I would leave it there and just fly the damn thing. You're probably not going to be entering any competitions with the footage, so you don't need to continue to push the PID tune to get it absolutely perfect. You're probably not gonna be booking any cinematic jobs where you need the footage to be absolutely, completely, perfectly smooth all the time. You're gonna be flying around the house and having fun. So there you go. There's the best setup, in my opinion, to have the most fun possible with it. I can't leave anything alone, so we're gonna push it even farther here. I was gonna do a diff from the other one, but let's not do that. I'm gonna show you each individual thing that I would do to continue to push a little bit farther. We already changed the P gain a little bit. Now we are going to add a little bit of PID sum. So we're gonna come in here to the CLI and we're gonna type get space PIDSUM. And it's going to tell us what the PID sum is currently at. It's currently at 500, and for yaw, it's at 400. So for pitch and roll, it's at 500, which is 50%. Look at the range. 100, which is 1, to 1,000, which is 100. Sorry. 100, which is 10, to 1,000, right? So 10% to 100% is the allowed range. Just drop the last zero, right? So the allowed range for PID sum is from 10% of the available power to 100% of the available power. This is how much power the PID loop is allowed to ask the ESC for. So right now, the PID loop on pitch and roll is only allowed to ask for 50% of the power that the ESC can produce. And for yaw, it's only allowed to ask for 40%. I think this is a safety thing, so that if you put your finger into the blades and the PID sum ramps up to full stank, it'll only hit you at half power or 40% power. It's a tiny whoop, so we're not worried about safety. So what we're going to do here is we're going to highlight PID sum limit equals 500, copy it. We're going to type set because we want to change it. We wanted get a second ago to figure out what it's at. Now we want to change it, so we're going to change it with set space, and then you're going to paste PID sum limit equals 500, delete, 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 1,000. We want to max out the PID sum, and then we're going to hit enter, and you can see that now the PID sum limit is set to 1,000. Now we're going to do the same thing on yaw. We're going to copy this to the clipboard, come in here, we're going to type set, S-E-T, space, paste, PID sum limit yaw equals 400, delete, 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 1,000. Hit enter, PID sum limit yaw is now set to 1,000. Type save, hit return, it resets the flight controller. And now we have artificially given ourselves more PID gains because we're allowing it to ask the ESC for more power on the PIDs. I'm going to move the feed forward down to 100 because we just did the PID sum thing. And I'm going to do a couple other really subtle things here. Since this is not my own rig, I'm not going to go completely ballistic with it. I'm going to move this jitter reduction up to 10. I'm going to move this I-term relax down to 10. Anti-gravity can stay at 8. Dynamic damping we'll leave alone. This is fine. This is fine. Let's save that. It's going to come with my rates, which is fine. I'm going to put... I won't put Throttle Expo on it. I am going to... I'm tempted to turn on the RPM filter, but I wonder if they have it turned off for a reason. So I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to move this dynamic notch filter max frequency up to 1,000 in case whoever gets this goes to a really high kV motor. And then I'm going to take the D-term filtering and I'm just going to move it up. What? Why is it not updating? Let's try saving and refreshing. What? Why is that number not changing? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 notches would bring it to 1.2. Let's hit save and maybe that'll... What's happening here? All right, let's power cycle it. It's acting really strange. Let's also quit and restart Betaflight. Greenhorn says, what ELRS value are you using to set jitter to 10? I don't know what you mean by what ELRS value, but the jitter reduction is a way of adding stick smoothing. And so that's why I raised that jitter value up a little bit to add in a little bit of stick smoothing. PID tuning, filter settings. Hey, there we go. Now it's working the way I expected it. So I'm going to move the D-term filter slider up to 1.2, save it, and yeah, that reduces the filtering delay a little bit. I'm going to move the gyro filtering slider all the way up to 2.0. The gyro filtering does practically nothing nowadays. So we're going to get pretty aggressive with that one since it does very little. So there we go. Those are the subtle changes that I'm going to make. Let's put another battery through it and see how it is. It shouldn't be really all that different. Like I don't think that you'll be able to see a difference, but let's find out, yo. Oh, wow, there is a big difference. It is jittery at 0 throttle. Listen to it at 0 throttle. Ready? Hear it going when I'm 0 throttle. That's not good. We we either removed too much filtering or we added too much PID authority. Let's move the filtering back to where it was first to see if that's the issue. I don't think it will be, but I would love it if it was. And then we'll take some PID gain out of it because we added a bunch of PID gain by boosting the PID sum up. So let's see. That was a good little test. This is why we test, yo. So let's come into the filters, and I'm going to take the gyro filtering all the way back down to 1, and I'm going to just pull the D-term filtering back down to 1 as well. Let's just put it back the way that it was, and we'll isolate whether or not this is PID related or filtering related. I'm going to pull a fresh battery for it because a lot of times once the battery sags down a little bit, those types of issues will go away, and I want to experience those issues right now to get it dialed in. All right. Listen to it after the throttle stabs. Nice and clean. There is a little... It definitely helped. There is a little tiny bit of jitteriness. You can see we've got... On yaw, it's nice and reactive now. 0 prop wash. So we can actually chill the tune out a little bit since there's ever so slightly just a little tiny bit of jitteriness at 0 throttle. I'm not going to reset the max frequency because in the really high frequencies, it's like pretty much no CPU cycles to give that extra bit of filtering, and dynamic notch max frequency didn't save at 1,000. Oh, thank you, Hockey Rounds. I did not notice that. So let's make sure we do that. That shouldn't be an issue on the stock setup. But I'm just going to do it because it's like free filtering up top there. All right, cool. So that is now saved. So yeah, we can pull the PIDs down a little bit now since we've added the extra PID sum, and that should just kind of clean this thing up a little bit in terms of that little bit of extra jitteriness. So roll P gain. Let's try to just move this down to 60. The pitch is the one that I'm most worried about because it's all the way up at 100. Let's move that down to... Let's move it to 80. I gains... Let's just make them even numbers. I would like to use the D-Max. Let's move the D-Max up to 60. And then we're going to put this to 80. Why is that mirroring? Is D-Max turned off? Isn't there a spot to turn... Oh, I see. They're linked when the number's too high. So I'm going to move the regular D gain, the non-D max, down to 70 and down to 50. So that the regular D gains that it cruises around with are a little bit lower here, and then when it needs the little boost, it can boost up. And then feed forward, I will just leave alone. So it's a pretty subtle change, but that should help out a little bit. I am going to push this gyro filter up. Oh man, it's acting really weird. Like it's when I move these, and now it won't disconnect. Hold on. Let me make sure it's willing to save that 1,000 number. Now it won't connect again. Strange. All right, power cycle in it. Connect. Let's make sure that that's saved in there. No, the max frequency refuses to save. That's super weird. What the hell is that about? Let's disconnect. Oh boy, what's going on? It really doesn't want that. Is 1,000 too high or something? Let's try 900. Yeah, it refuses to save that max frequency. Save. Ah, there we go. It didn't like 1,000. That was interesting. So we're gonna set it to 900 instead, and I'm gonna move this gyro filter multiplier up a little bit. There's just no reason for it to be filtering on the gyro so hard. Although it is a BMI 270 gyro, so maybe it does need that extra gyro filtering. But the amount that I just moved it up is not enough for it to really cause any issues. So now let's see if it's a little bit cleaner when I hop off the throttle. All right, here we go. Wow, it's worse. It's worse, which means that it really does need that gyro filtering. Damn. Man, I know that Chris Rosser and Mark Spatz tested the BMI 270 and showed that it was as good as the MPU 6000, but in my experience, it absolutely is not. I do not like the BMI 270, which is a shame because, yeah, it's kind of what we have now. So I'm going to move this gyro filtering back down to 1.0. Strange. I mean, the PID changes that I made should be helping the issue, not making it worse. So that little bit of extra gyro filter kind of has to be the problem, although we're about to see. Man, no, it is still a little bit upset. What is happening? Here's what I'm going to say. Don't touch the stock tune. Leave it alone. They obviously spent a bunch of time and effort to get the stock tune locked in. It flies great. So just leave it alone. Leave the stock tune alone. Let's move this max frequency down a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's try this. Let's turn on the RPM filtering. We're going to go down to 1 harmonic. And we're going to go to the motors tab. And okay, it's already turned on here. So let's try that. Let's try it with RPM filtering turned on. No other changes, just turning on RPM filtering. Let's see how it is. It might put too much load on the CPU. It's only an F4 processor, but I've had pretty good luck. It's worse. And the battery's dead. Wow. Stock tune for the win on the Hummingbird. Damn. They've really got the stock tune dialed in just right. So let's turn the RPM filtering back off because it is worse with it on. And agree. All right, now that sets this back to 3 notches with a Q factor of 300. Let's save this and let's... Oh, look, it didn't... Man, this thing's acting really strange. It didn't save any of the changes that I made to the PIDs. Why? What is that about? That's why it's acting up. So, okay. We're going to bring this pitch P gain down a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of I gain. These I gain numbers are so low. Okay. D max. I'm going to move up to 60 and 90. But then for the regular cruising around D gain, I'm going to move that down to 50 and 80. And move this pitch feed forward down to 80 as well. All right, save this time, yo, please. Save. Save. Disconnect. All right, let's see if it's any better. It is 8 o'clock. We got to wrap this up in a second here. So I can't use the sliders. They are turned off. Newbie Drone could not get the values exactly where they wanted them with the sliders, so they turned the sliders off. Much better. There we go. So the main thing that caused issues was that PID sum. Yeah, this thing is rocking again. Yep, tune's great. Tune is very similar to where it was, but not exactly. It's still a custom tune. It's not worse than where it was, which is, you know, the important part. I'm tempted to move this thing over to BT 2.0, but whoever wins it might not be on BT 2.0. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on PH. It flies shockingly good. BT 2.0 would definitely give it a little bit more power, a little bit more runtime, but it could also have something to do with why the other one went up in flames. I really doubt it, but you never know. This thing's now good to go. This will be in the Tiny Whoop tier giveaway, available to all patrons for as little as $5 a month. Not this coming Monday, the Monday after that. So hop onto my Patreon. Speaking of, there are a bunch of shout outs for new patrons that I want to jump on real quick here. Texie Port, thank you for joining the Patreon, my friend. Letterhead Reacts, thank you for joining. Welcome to the gangliest of gangs. Johan B, thank you for joining up. Listman100, welcome to the Gangly Gang. We've got a little bit of St. Joe's Kid, thank you for coming on board. Dion Biggin, thank you for coming. You're going to be in the running next Monday to win this little guy. Colin Perry, welcome to the Gangly Gang. And I think that gets us caught up. There might still be one in here somewhere that I didn't. Sleepy CBR, he was on, then he jumped off, then he changed tiers. Welcome back, Sleepy. Aiden Hansen, thanks for joining the Patreon. Mark is unread. And then Fly Tribe. Fly Tribe also joined. Thank you, guys. Very cool of you. If you guys haven't checked out Fly Tribe, check it out for sure. It's an awesome magazine. They're doing a killer job. It's probably just flytribe.com. So there we go. I don't know what, a bunch of these started going to spam for some strange reason, and I rescued them out of there. Herbert Schreiber as well. Welcome to the Gangly Gang, brother. Thank you so much for the support. If you're not a patron yet, what the hell? Come on. CiottiFPV.com has a link to the Patreon page. You're going to love my nuts. I swear to God, you're going to love being a patron. It doesn't cost you much money. It makes a huge difference for me, and it allows me to keep doing this 5 times a week, 4 times a week, 7.5 cents per hour of live streaming is what it'll cost you to join my Patreon. That's pretty fair, right? I'm not charging you $100 a month like some of these other content creators. Can you imagine someone opening a Patreon that the minimum tier is $100 a month? Jesus. Let me get caught up on chat, and then we're going to shut this down for the day. Oh, the VTX setting. Yes. The VTX setting. I almost forgot. All right. And here we go. So, if your VTX is just straight up acting really weird and doing like strange pit mode things, this is the one main thing to try in my experience. You go into the menu. Once your transmitter has connected, you go, watch this. All right, you go like that to get into the OSD menu. You go to features. You go to VTX, you go down here to set. Oh, nope, that ain't it. It's config. You go down here to config, and then it's the OP model. You change it from race to free. You want it to be on free. You don't want it to be on race. It's going to bounce back and forth now. Let me leave it on race for a second. Okay, whatever. Yeah, you want it to be on free, and then here's a little trick. Left stick to the right always puts you into the save and exit menu. and then you save and exit by going to the right on the right stick, and that's it. That's how you change. That's how you fix on some VTXs the very stubborn. I go into pit mode all the damn time, even when you don't want me to. Issue that yeah, a bunch of Rush tank VTXs have that problem. It's very weird, and that's how you fix it. Freeloader says that my link tree is down. That's not good. Yeah, look at that. Is all of Linktree down? Nope. No. That's weird. I'm sure it'll come back up. I'm sure it'll come back up because it's Linktree and they usually work. Thanks for hanging, my friends. I'll see you on Friday. We'll do some more things. We will do probably Grinderino things. Hey, Newbie Drone is sending me another Hummingbird AIO, so we will get to put it back into this new frame and continue to beat it up and see how it is durability-wise. We will also get to check. Yeah, that'll be good because I do want to. What the hell was that? I do want to give it a second chance. You know, like the issue with the MOSFETs burning up is apparently Bluejay related. So now that we have that figured out, we can really give it a good durability test. This one is going back in the box because it's ready for the giveaways, and I'm gonna put it aside. 2 Mondays from now, that will be given away. So yeah, see you guys on Friday. I hope you have an awesome rest of your Wednesday night and Thursday and Friday during the day. Northern Tier says, I just got to your site. It's back up. Awesome. And then CM Mike Hay dropping the Fly Tribe magazine link. Northern Tier says, great stream and Betaflight tips. Thank you, dude. Freelo just said, no, we got that. All right, cool. We're all set. CiottiFPV.com, friends. Support your boy so I can keep doing this forever. Love you. Here comes some more frying from Rampage. Container 1. What is this? This is actually from Rampage 2021. I forgot about that. What is happening? Can this please work now? Please work. There we go. Container Chaos at Rampage 2021 coming at you. Man, that's bright. Should have had a salsa? Nah. Alternative hip hop? Sure. Our friends. See you Wednesday. See you Friday. It is Wednesday. Bye-bye!